Next up at UFC 299, we have very, very hyped prospect Robelis Despaigne taking on Josh Parisian. Robelis Despaigne, an Olympian, a bronze medalist in Taekwondo, making his official UFC debut after going 4-0 in MMA very, very early in his career. 4-0 in his entire MMA career. And he's taken on veteran Josh Parisian. Josh Parisian, 15-7 overall, 2-3 in his last 5. He is riding back-to-back losses. What's interesting about Robelis only being 4-0, he's the older fighter in this matchup. He's 35 years old, taking on the slightly younger 34-year-old Josh Parisian. And I don't think that matters for this matchup, but it does matter if you're trying to build a superstar. It's a little bit late in the career to do that. But Robelis Despaigne, this guy is a monster of a human being. This picture tells the whole story. This guy is 6'7", an Olympic Taekwondo medalist. People will argue, well, it was bronze by default. Regardless, he made the Olympic team, worked his way through the tournament, and if you want to disparage third, then disparage third. But this guy is one of the best Taekwondo athletes on planet Earth, and he happens to be absolutely massive. There's not a lot of footage of his MMA career. He only has 4 fights total, and the cumulative total of minutes that he has fought, his last 3 fights, 19 seconds. 19 seconds in his last 3 fights. It is insane how dangerous he is. Okay. He clearly has power in both of his hands and his feet. If you go watch his Taekwondo matches, you're going to see the speed, the athleticism, and the timing as well. He does get hit, though. Even in those 19 seconds of MMA in his last 3 fights, his hands are low, and he gets blasted in the face. It has not been an issue just yet because nobody has had that power that is needed to put him out, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. We do know that he's insanely powerful. We do know that he's very athletic. We don't necessarily know how good his takedown defense is because you haven't seen much of it, no matter how much digging you're going to do on the tape. He's taking on Josh Parisian. This guy's a striker. He's going to move forward. A lot of output. He's a very busy striker. He's going to throw punches for 15 full minutes. Doesn't have a ton of power, and that does fade even more as the fight goes on. You're going to see he has 10 knockouts on his record, but that was against some regional guys, and frankly, they were like TKO because he's just so busy. He doesn't have that typical heavyweight power. He is a volume guy. He relies on that pressure, an occasional takedown here and there. He's coming off that submission loss to Martin Budai, where he was able to showcase just how insanely tough he is. Robelis, his line is collapsing here. Collapse is a very dramatic word. Was minus 500, now down to minus 310. All of a sudden, maybe that line's not so bad. When he was 400 something, I thought that was a bit much. 4-1 favorite. Yeah, a massive human being. Yes, insane power. Yes, an Olympian. But he is fighting a very tough Josh Parisian. And Josh Parisian is a massive step up in competition. He has 6 times the amount of MMA experience. But what's working in Robelis' favor is Josh Parisian has no power. He's not a one-punch knockout guy. It will be interesting to see what happens if Robelis doesn't get an early knockout, and all of a sudden we're in the second round of this fight, and Josh Parisian's still there, tough, with energy, moving forward. But Robelis is going to be my pick. I do like that this line is tightening, and if we get anywhere near a 200 line, I'll do something with that. I mean, I do think he wins this fight. It was scary when he was in the 400s, but he's now a 3-1 favorite instead of a 5-1 favorite. Things are looking a little better. What do you think, Jakey boy?
He's like 320 right now, and I imagine that's probably as low as it feels like it's going to get wider once people see this guy and they start looking at this fight and they're like, wait, he's a what? And he's done what in his last few fights? And then, God bless him, but they see a picture of Josh Parisian and those fucking nipples. They're going to be like, okay, yeah, let me lay some money on this Robelis dude, and I think he's going to get it done. I mean, Josh, what he needs to do is find some way to get inside this Taekwondo stance, which that's the hardest thing to get inside, right? The Taekwondo, the capoeira type fighting that we'll see later with Michel Pereira. Those guys are just so wild and so rangy with the way that they strike. It's hard to get inside, but Josh has got to find a way to get inside and just fucking grab this dude and hold him for as long as he fucking can and just hope that this guy gets tired, because in space, we've seen what this guy Robelis can do. It's what he does best. I don't think that Josh even really has the takedowns. I'm sure that Robelis knows knows at this point, right? That's what people are going to want to do. And I would hope and pray that that's pretty much all he's been working on, because you don't really need to work on the striking. You got that figured out. So I think Robelis comes in and smokes this guy. The UFC knew, right? Sometimes they have these matchups. They have this Robelis guy. Let's throw him on the prelims. Who can we match him up with? And unfortunately, Josh got that phone call. He's just a little bit too stationary in the middle of the octagon, and I think he's going to be a sitting duck, and I think it's going to be on the third punch Robelis throws.
Josh is tough, dude. We saw his toughness in his last fight.
What does that mean? Means you get fucking hit, and this guy seems to be able to put people's lights out fucking quick.
Oh, listen, I think Robelis is going to win. What is interesting here is I think he wins this fight. The UFC does not have a ton of time, and heavyweights can last a little longer than most fighters in their career, or most weight classes, right? You can fight to 38, 39 and like still have success at heavyweight, but they don't have a ton of time to build him into something. He might get the Shamil treatment. Knock out Josh Parisian, they main event him, and he gets smoked because he's just not a complete MMA fighter.
Well, with this guy, this guy in the state of the heavyweight division, I guarantee that this guy gets like the Alex Bejeda treatment. If he comes in and smokes Josh Parisian, they're going to give him like a middle of the road, whatever, and then it could be like boom. If he smokes that guy, like here's a number one contender, like at the end of the year or something. If it's easy for him, I think that's what they want to do with him.
Yeah. I mean, I do think $9,300 is a high price to pay in DraftKings. It will be interesting because if he gets a knockout in under 1 minute, you get those extra DraftKings points, and all of a sudden he's scoring 120 points. But if he does knock out Josh Parisian and he does it at 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, all of a sudden he scores 90 points, and he's not worth the $9,300. So I actually am going to spend my DraftKings salary on, if I have to choose between him and a Sue, I'll take the guy that has plenty of takedowns and all of that, then the one punch kind of guy.
Yeah, and you don't know really how he's going to react in front of the. I mean, obviously he's been.
Yeah, he's been on a very high level. Yeah,
but I mean, it's a little bit different, right? You're not really experiencing him. At that point, he was so experienced, he was comfortable with this craft. MMA, there's still a lot of question marks, so you don't know how he's going to react. But I still like him for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he should absolutely win this fight. But if you do want to unlock all the picks, the bets, the round line leans, the tools, the insight, and everything else that we do, it's only $10 a month. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. You instantly have access to every single thing we offer for an entire month. That is 4 events for that $10. $2.50 an event. You literally cannot beat that. It's not some Patreon with a list of a couple of bets that we're going to tweet out for free anyway. It is a full-blown interactive website customized to you and your needs. WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. We have an insane amount of super chats to get to. We have a $10 super chat from Riffraff. Riffraff has been insanely generous over the last couple of years. He sent us multiple gifts, and now $10. He's a 10 spot for Jacob to stop karaoke. Thank you very much. Honor his wishes. Riffraff, this is the best thing you've ever sent. We have Menace with the 279 Canadian. What's up, guys? Free me. Nope, you are banned in the Discord. You're just, not a great look in the Discord, bud. Thanks for the 279 Canadian. D, Jacob's boy D, who has actually quite the supporter, has now become a member on YouTube. D is always the first comment on my Fight Foods vlogs, and I notice you, and I appreciate that. Dr. Y,
thank you, D.
Always generous, sent the belt that I beat the shit out of Jacob and took home with me. I would put money on Angelo versus Josh Parisian.
You guys have the same nipples.
If Josh can't defend it, I'm actually physically looking better than him right now, which is shocking. All I did was cut out some. Dude,
prove it.
I just did.
Prove it. Those bruises have been there forever.
They're new bruises.
Look, what's that? Oh, what's
diabetes.
That disease calls when you bruise easily?
No, it's just rolling. Then we have Bet Slam with Sam. This is New Zealand Sam. 3 fighters, total records.
You got Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. EDS, man. You got Ehlers-Danlos.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he's talking about Robelis's recent record. Of course, he's fighting guys with losing records and bummish, but the reality is those are his first ever MMA fights. He's got to work his way up. Sam Rizzuto, $1.99. When do we get a pay-per-view stream with Angelo? Here's the thing about pay-per-views. If you watch the Fight Foods vlogs, you'll see that I usually cook a bunch of food, have some people over.
People.
Your people, Casey comes, Bo comes. Bo's not going to be here this week either. I saw him at a birthday party, and I said, Jacob said he hasn't seen you since October. And he's like, it's crazy.
He said he's coming this week or no?
Not.
What?
I said, you around for $2.99? He said,
man.
He's like, we got to go to my wife's family's house.
It literally is because we actually fought, and he doesn't want to. He doesn't
now
want to.
Now he knows. There's smoke.
Brought up.
Yeah, there's smoke. He's been threatening to fight me for years. He's 6'8". He thinks that matters. It doesn't. It doesn't.
I mean, I got to that same
anyway,
crazy.
The pay-per-views, I have people over. We watch the fight. Like, it's a very different environment. And if we did a live stream, it would literally just be us watching the fights. You're going to get close to a live stream with Jacob and I. It's not released that night. But the Fight Foods vlogs, we now mic up and live react to everything. So check those out to get our live reactions. Maybe eventually we'll evolve it. But, like, if I have neighbors over, I can't be like, hey, we're live. Like,
because usually we have
watch
our hands off, too.
Oh, Archie, $2. What round will Cheeto start fighting versus O'Malley? Well, definitely not the first. Maybe the second, and hopefully the second. He is a very slow starter.
I think it's going to be fired up. I think it's going to be Sean that's going to be the little pussy in there.
Mo Sharif sent 2 super chats because he looks like he messed up the comment on the first one. We appreciate that. And he said, when do you send out the 50? So he's talking about the $50. If you go to the website /bets, you sign up using our link, we send you $50 as a thank you. It depends on the volume, Mo. I'm the one who does it. I literally have to manually verify every single account, make sure that it's a valid account, it's in the affiliate portal, make sure there's a deposit, and then pay you. And it depends. It's like the longest it'll be is a week. But sometimes it's the next day. It has to at least be a day for it to flow through the system so I can see it. But it's anywhere from a day to a week, depending on which book you signed up with and when you submit your form. Thank you all very much for those generous super chats.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
I told you nobody was going to send 300.
Shut the fuck. That makes us seem like greedy and unappreciative.
That's what streamers do. That's so funny. Like, 5 gifted. That deserves a 5 gifted subs. It deserves. That's what they always do.
Yeah. Well, we got premium. Before you go, let me give you $50. Anybody who goes to wewantpicks.com/bets and signs up with any one of our affiliate partners gets $50 as a thank you. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.